Hey, I'm Melissa, a course creation expert and former Teachable employee. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how to create and sell your online course, even if you are not very tech savvy and don't have a huge starting audience. Welcome back to Wit and Wire, where we help creators turn their skills and passions into profitable online businesses. Step 1 is to choose a profitable course topic. When I talk to a lot of new course creators, they tell me that their course is about something like Instagram tips or running tips, but the problem is that people aren't searching for tips. Instead, your future students are out there and they have some kind of pain or problem in their life, and your course is going to be the solution. So a key takeaway I want to share about what makes a course topic profitable and scalable is the fact that you need to put yourself in your future students' shoes and figure out how you can help them get to a place where they are not currently and give them a transformation that they are craving. In other words, your course will help them bridge the gap between who they are today and where they want to be. A few examples could include launching an Etsy shop, losing weight through a certain health strategy, meal prepping for your family. There are endless options for great profitable course ideas, but skills don't sell, outcomes do. The second core piece of choosing the right course topic is choosing one specific student. If you imagine the world of productivity tips, as an example, surgeons and stay-at-home moms have very different needs. So if your course is packaged as a personalized solution to someone's problem, that's going to make it a no-brainer for them to purchase. On the other hand, if you try to appeal to everyone, you will end up talking to no one. So make sure that you have a clear student in mind and one key solution to solve their problem. Step 2, decide between a course marketplace and a course creation platform. These two are very different, and it's so important to understand the difference. A course marketplace gives you the opportunity to contribute your own course to that platform. So although you own all of the videos that you create, all of the students who enroll in your course are technically students of that platform. So for example, Skillshare, Udemy, and Coursera are some of the most well-known course marketplaces. And I have a Skillshare course with several thousand students, but those students are Skillshare students. So I don't have their email addresses, I cannot market to them directly, and that makes it really tough to build my own business. I think on the pro side of the equation, course marketplaces do expose you to a lot of people, but the earning potential is really small. So for that same course with thousands of students, I barely make $100 to $200 per month because I'm being paid almost as talent on the Skillshare platform. Similarly, if you have a course on a site like Udemy, Udemy controls the pricing of your course. So typically they're discounted to under $20 and you only earn a fraction of that. So when you think of course marketplaces, these are all websites where, yes, you reach a large amount of people, but you can't really earn a large amount of money. On the other hand, we have course creation platforms. If you are familiar with Squarespace or WordPress, you know that those are tools that you can use to build your own website. When I talk about course creation platforms, it's similar, where you use those tools to create your course, drag and drop in your own videos, and give students a login portal. But when they make that purchase, they are paying you directly. So if you have your own Teachable course, it is not going to be on Teachable's website under a course marketplace. You're going to find it on your own website. So for example, on my website, witandwire.com, students are finding my courses, which I built using Teachable, but you're paying me directly, minus just a few transaction fees. So you can see that course marketplaces are very different from course creation platforms, because although the platform doesn't have that built-in marketing, you are able to earn significantly more money because it really is a tool for business owners to create your own products. I encourage all of my students to use the white label solution, the course creation platform, so that is the side I'm going to focus on as we walk through this tutorial. Step 3, create your offer. There's a difference between your course and your offer. The course is the product itself, but the offer is the way that it's packaged and sold at a specific moment in time. So if you imagine any sale from your favorite business, that is an offer on an existing product. And that's true for physical goods as well as online courses. So when you're selling a new course for the first time, I call that initial first enrollment your founder's round. Other people call it a beta program, but I have a clear system where there are 3 different stages that go into creating and selling an online course. Stage 1 is called validate. Your goal in this stage is to put your new idea out there, get your first students, and get paid to develop the curriculum, which is what we'll get into shortly. Then after your first enrollment, you move into stage 2, which is elevate. That's where you start to improve the curriculum, enroll more students, and start to automate the process a little bit before you move into stage 3, which is automate. When most people think about online courses, they're imagining a world of passive income. And although I have a little bit of a hard time with the word passive because there is definitely work that goes into course creation, it is also true that I make sales while I sleep, while I'm at yoga classes, and I have online courses that are currently in that automate stage where I do earn money on a day-to-day basis in my business. One major piece of your offer is the course price. And although it may go up over time, I typically recommend starting off at the lowest price that you feel comfortable for the founders round, but you don't want to undersell yourself. And I've found that most creators tend to price too low rather than too high. Course pricing is a whole hour-long discussion unto itself, but I did want to leave you with a very specific tip, and that is to price based on the outcome of your program, not the length. It doesn't matter how many videos there are, it doesn't matter how long it takes someone to achieve a certain transformation. Instead, you should ask yourself, how much will my student's life change or improve because of this program? In fact, the irony is, often we're willing to pay when things are done faster. So a 30-day course may actually be more expensive than a 3-month course. It's not always the case, but that's why it's tough to price just based on a few criteria like how many videos or how long it is, because it's about that transformation. As an example, if you're helping somebody get a new job, that's a major transformation because you're helping them move into, let's say, a different income bracket. So that is a major transformation. On the other hand, something like learning the piano, which I adore, is maybe not as big of a transformation, but it's still meaningful and absolutely something that students are willing to pay for. There are 3 areas that will always have profitable ideas: health, wealth, and relationships. And that's because if we feel a void in any of those 3 areas, it's something that's on our minds constantly. So if you can position your course as a solution to a problem in one of those 3 areas, you'll definitely be off to a strong start. Step 4, outline your curriculum. Once you have the overall transformation, you want to break that down into sections. Imagine, what are the major milestones that your students will have to hit along the way in order to get to that end goal? Then once you have the major sections or milestones, you can break those down further into individual lessons. I like to imagine that each lesson should be roughly 5 to 15 minutes if you're thinking of a video, and there should be something either actionable or specific for every single lesson. You may also be wondering, how do I know the right order for my course? And there isn't necessarily one right order, but one of the main reasons why students buy online courses instead of just going on YouTube is because they want to save time. And by having you, the creator, put these lessons in a particular order and having them go through your linear curriculum, that is a kindness that you're showing them. That is your professional experience or your expertise shining through. So what is most important is that you commit to one order. As you have your first students start to go through it, you may discover that you want to move things around, but fortunately, that is very easy to do using my favorite online course creation platforms, which you can find in the description. Step 5 is to create the first week of curriculum. You'll notice I didn't say create the whole course, and we're going to come back to that shortly. But for now, I want to differentiate between 2 key words: curriculum versus classroom. If you've seen my other YouTube video, you've heard me talk about all the different tools that go into online course creation, and I'll leave a link below this video as well. I think it's so crucial to know that curriculum is everything that your students need to learn. Curriculum could include slides, videos, PDFs, templates. Anything that they use to learn is curriculum, and the tools that you use to build curriculum are unique. On the other hand, we have what I call your classroom, and that's where the online course platform that we talked about earlier comes in. That is the place where your students have a login and they go to access their curriculum. And the tool that you use, called an online course platform, is different from the curriculum tools. So in this phase of your own course creation experience, we're actually just using the first half of the tools. You're creating some slides, you're recording some videos, maybe a workbook to go along with it. That's what I want you to do first. Then, once you have week 1's curriculum ready, it's time for you to choose your course creation platform. I use and recommend Teachable. It is not just because I worked there for 4 years full time, but I also truly believe that they have the best user experience for both creators and students. And you can create a free account by going to witandwire.com/teachable, or you'll find a link below. When you create your Teachable account, You'll be creating the space online where students log in, and then you'll be able to create your course by dragging in your videos, your workbooks, adding a little bit of text, and creating the course itself. You do not need to be that tech savvy to create a course. There is no coding involved. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about the nuances of course creation, you can check out my online course toolkit for free in the description below this video or at witandwire.com/course toolkit. Step 6 is your first enrollment. Now, this is so important. I do not want you to create the whole course before you sell it. And this is one of the biggest mistakes that I see new course creators making. The reason why is because if you spend 3 to 6 months creating your life's work in this long online course, but you don't actually put it out there to see if anyone will buy, you risk creating a course that can't sell. Instead, if you take a pause right now, when you've created 1 week of curriculum, and you put your offer out there to say, I'm starting this new program, I'm enrolling students, do you want to join? You will very quickly learn if you have an offer that can sell or not. And just by doing this one exercise, you may learn that you need to tweak the positioning slightly, you may learn that you have a great idea, but in either case, you will get the confirmation and validation from early students that you have an offer worth paying for. I know this may feel riskier and backwards, but I think it's far riskier to create the entire course first for 2 reasons. Number 1, it is a lot of time on your end to create that whole course. And if you just go ahead and do the whole thing before you get students, you risk creating a course that will never sell, which is a waste of your time. It's also risky though, because if you create the whole course, you put it out there and no one buys, you're gonna have a really hard time knowing if the offer didn't work or if the marketing didn't work. Here's what I mean. The marketing could be the emails you sent, the webinars, the social media posts. It could be that your marketing was not effective, but you have a great course. On the other hand, it could be that you had perfect, brilliant, amazing marketing, but the course itself is not a validated offer. And that's why I'm such a big fan of doing what I call a founder's round during this validate stage of your course life cycle to make sure that you will get paid and that you're developing something that students really want and need before you waste that time. One more benefit of doing a founder's round is that you get to release curriculum on a roughly weekly basis and get student feedback. So you get to learn if it works, and that means that you're actually developing an effective course. And then when you enroll more students, you have a high level of confidence that it will work because it has already worked for your first students. I know finding your first students is a huge point of stress or worry for a lot of new course creators, but if you are interested in learning more, I do have a complete program for course creators to help you create and sell your online course, and you can find more info on that in the description below this video. Step 7, deliver curriculum. Once you have enrolled your founding students, it's time to start delivering your curriculum. So before you had only created week 1, now it's time to continue into weeks 2, 3, and beyond. One thing I love to do in a founder's round is to do things that don't scale. I love to do live weekly group coaching or one-on-one calls, or I'll offer personalized feedback to homework from students. Although this is not the way that your course will look in stage 3, the automate stage, I think by doing these personalized touches, you are able to give your students an amazing experience. They will not only reach their outcome, but they will rave about your course and provide you with amazing testimonials. And when you're in that kind of one-on-one conversation with a student, you learn so much about their challenges, their successes, and that can inform not only improved curriculum, but also future marketing material for your course. So I just can't say enough about the benefits of doing things that don't scale as a first-time course creator or as a seasoned course creator with a new program. Then, after your first enrollment wraps, it's time to enroll more students. This is where you start to elevate and automate your course by trying different teaching and marketing strategies. So you may enhance your curriculum by adding new templates that your students suggested the first go around. You may replace a few of the videos. And I did want to talk about that briefly because course creation can feel very permanent, but I don't see it that way. I teach based on slides. So what I'll do after a founder's round is I'll make notes about which lessons I get a lot of questions about, and then I'll go back, I may edit those slides, and then I'll just re-record one 5 to 15 minute video. That's another major reason why I like to do shorter videos, because not only is it easier for your students to consume, it's also much easier for you to go back and update pieces of curriculum when they're not part of an hour-long video. This is also the point in time where you'll try different marketing strategies. There are so many incredible ways that you can market your online course, from free challenges to webinars to paid ads to social media promotion to partnerships. The list is endless. It would be impossible for me to recommend one strategy that worked for everyone, which I think is a good thing. It means that you have options to choose the strategy that feels right for you and say no to the rest. The best course creators have tried a few different strategies, but then they have found what works for them. And instead of worrying that they're not doing all the things, instead they focus on what works well and then they continue to improve. So for example, Instagram ads have been a huge profitable source of revenue for my course, the Podcast Launch Accelerator. I earn roughly 2 to 3x my spend on ads from students who enroll in that course. So I run ads to a free webinar, and at the end of the webinar, I promote my paid offer. And I'm able to profit on that funnel, which means I'm not only earning back the cost of my ad spend, I'm earning money on top of that. Now, going back to my overall theory about courses and how they have life cycles, I don't advise that most new course creators start off with a paid ads funnel unless you're experienced with paid ads. And the biggest reason why is because it's tougher to tell if your ads aren't working or if the course, the offer itself, isn't working. But if you use the strategies about finding your founding students first, get paid to develop the curriculum, and then you have a finished course, now you have validated demand. You know that the offer is good. So then when you start running ads or doing these other marketing strategies, you'll know that it's probably the marketing strategy that needs a little bit of work, not as much the course itself, although obviously there's always room to improve the way you talk about your program. If you're interested in creating and selling your own online course, you can learn more about Wit & Wire's programs for course creation by going to witandwire.com/courses. You'll also find the free download for the Online Course Creation Toolkit, which includes all of my favorite course creation platforms, slide templates, microphones, webcams, and more. So you can grab that in the description or at witandwire.com/course toolkit. Since you're interested in online courses, here's another video I think you'll really like.